If you're thinking about doing any electrical work around your house, whether it's swapping out an outlet, installing a ceiling fan, or just finally labeling that mystery breaker panel in your basement, a circuit breaker finder is one of those tools that turns a frustrating two-person guessing game into a quick solo job. I've put together a list of 7 of the best circuit breaker finders you can get right now, and I've left links to every single one of them down in the description so you can check them out for yourself. Let's dive in. First up, we've got the Klein Tools ET310, and this is a tool that a lot of electricians already know and trust. It works on standard 90 to 120 volt AC circuits, and what's really neat is that the transmitter doubles as a GFCI outlet tester, so you're basically getting 2 tools in one. The transmitter actually docks right into the receiver for storage, which means you're never going to lose 1/2 of the set bouncing around in your tool bag. It's seriously tough too, rated to survive drops from over 6 feet onto concrete. Now, one small thing to be aware of is that the power button is pretty sensitive, so it can occasionally turn on during transport and drain the battery. And if you're working in an older home with shared neutral wires, you might get a signal on a couple of adjacent breakers instead of just one. But for standard residential work, this thing is a reliable workhorse, and that built-in GFCI test button is a genuinely useful bonus. Now, if you want something with a bit more tech and visual feedback, the Kaiweets KT301P is going to blow you away. Instead of basic LED lights, this one has a full backlit LCD screen on the transmitter that shows you real-time voltage readings from 30 to 150 volts. That's honestly incredible at this price point. The receiver also works as a non-contact voltage detector, so you can check whether a wire is live without touching anything, and there's even a built-in LED flashlight for those dark basement panels. It comes as a complete kit too, with an EVA carrying case, a light bulb socket adapter, a 3-to-2 prong adapter, and alligator clips. Compared to the Klein ET310, which relies on basic LED indicators and doesn't include adapters in the box, the Kaiweets gives you a whole lot more visual data and accessories for a similar price. Picture this: you've got a cut wire under your kitchen sink from a plumbing mishap. You grab the Kaiweets receiver, use the NCV function to confirm the wire is live, then clip the alligator leads onto the bare wires to trace the circuit back to your panel and kill the power safely. That kind of versatility in one kit is a game changer. Moving into serious professional territory, the Fluke BK120 Smart Trace is the gold standard. This is what you reach for when consumer-grade tools just can't cut it. Fluke's proprietary Smart Trace algorithms filter out electromagnetic interference and completely eliminate the false positives that cheaper tools struggle with in complex panels. It features dual sensitivity NCV detection, so you can identify individual live wires even in tightly packed conduit bundles. It carries a CAT3 150-volt safety rating, which is often required in commercial and industrial settings. And here's something really clever. The transmitter is line-powered, meaning it draws energy directly from the circuit it's plugged into rather than relying on a battery. That means the tracing signal stays strong and consistent no matter how long you're working. It does come at a premium price and doesn't include the adapter accessories that cheaper kits bundle in. But when you're standing in front of a commercial panel with 40 unlabeled breakers and shutting off the wrong one could take down a server rack, the Fluke earns every penny. It simply does not play breaker roulette. For those of you who just need something affordable and easy to get started with, the AstroAI Circuit Breaker Finder is a fantastic entry point. It features automated interference filtering, which means you don't need to fiddle with manual sensitivity dials at all. Just plug in the transmitter, grab the receiver, and start scanning. It comes with a full kit including an EVA case, light socket adapter, 3-to-2 prong adapter, and alligator clips. Imagine you just moved into an older home and the breaker panel has 0 labels. Instead of the classic yell across the house method while someone flips breakers randomly, you can map the whole thing out solo in an afternoon. The light socket adapter is especially handy for tracing overhead lighting circuits before installing a new ceiling fan. The build quality isn't quite as rugged as a Klein or Fluke, and you might notice some wear on the alligator clip leads after heavy long-term use, but for occasional home projects this tool is more than capable. And their customer service is genuinely top-notch, with fast responses and hassle-free replacements if anything goes wrong. The Fenta FTC01 brings something truly unique to the table, a 10-second data lock function. Here's why that matters. When you're testing a GFCI outlet and the circuit trips, the power dies instantly and your screen goes black. With the Fenta, a built-in backup battery keeps the test data displayed on the LCD for 10 full seconds after the power cuts out, so you can actually read your fault codes in peace. It diagnoses 6 common wiring faults and even shows you how long the test ran. The alligator clips are a standout too, featuring a one-piece metal plastic fusion design that's way safer and more secure than the cheap rubber sleeve clips you get with most budget tools. It's ETL certified with a CAT2 135-volt rating and housed in a shockproof ABS shell. Compared to the AstroAI, which offers great ease of use, the Fenta trades some of that simplicity for much deeper diagnostic capability. The interface might feel a bit busy if you're used to basic red and green LEDs, but for solo technicians who need detailed data, that 10-second data lock is like having a black box for your electrical system. Next, the Instot CBF01 stands out with what might be the best display in this entire lineup. It uses a color VA reverse display, which means you get bright, color-coded text on a dark background that's incredibly easy to read whether you're in direct sunlight or a pitch-black basement. But the real standout feature here is that it measures the exact GFCI trip time in seconds. For home inspectors and code enforcement professionals, that's huge, because just knowing that a GFCI trips isn't always enough. You need to prove it trips fast enough to meet safety standards. The receiver uses an analog bar display that rises and falls smoothly as you sweep across the panel, which many people find more intuitive than just listening for beeps, especially in noisy environments. There's also a really handy auto-hold function on the transmitter, so if an outlet is hidden behind a refrigerator and you can't see the screen while plugging it in, the display locks the reading so you can pull it out and check the data comfortably. It doesn't have NCV detection like the Kaiweets or Fluke, but for inspection and compliance work, this tool is hard to beat. Rounding things out, the Tadeto FTC01 is a true 3-in-1 powerhouse. It combines a circuit breaker finder, a voltage anomaly detector covering 90 to 135 volts, and an intelligent GFCI tester into one heavily armored package. What really sets it apart is the dual LCD screen setup. Both the transmitter and the receiver have their own backlit displays, showing real-time data on both ends simultaneously. Like the Fenta, it also has a 10-second data lock with battery backup. It ships with a 5-in-1 adapter kit and is built with an ABS shockproof shell that's been drop tested from 2 meters. Here's where the Tadeto really shines. Picture a 2-person team during a major renovation. The person at the outlet and the person at the panel can both watch their own screens for signal strength data instead of shouting back and forth across a construction site. Just keep in mind that the receiver needs to be held at a slight angle for the magnetic antenna to align properly, and you'll want to do a calibration sweep across the full panel before you start pinpointing. Once you get that technique down, it locks onto breakers reliably. So let me help you narrow it down. If you're a homeowner who just needs to label a panel or swap a fixture once in a while, the AstroAI is your best bet for its simplicity and value. If you want the best balance of features, data, and price, the Kaiweets KT301P is tough to beat with its LCD voltage display, NCV detection, and complete kit. For professional electricians working in demanding commercial or industrial environments, the Fluke BK120 is the undisputed champion. And if you need detailed diagnostic data for inspections or solo work, the Instot and Fenta both offer specialized capabilities that the others simply don't have. Links to all 7 circuit breaker finders are right down in the description. If this helped you out, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. See you in the next video.